Good morning. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. Ready for another amazing day here on Marketing with Russ. We have Doreen Steenland with us today. She's going to be amazing. You do not want to miss her. So make sure, share this out, tag all your friends because it's going to be good. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Well, thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, Michelle Martin and Farmers Insurance, Liz Lawless and Author Adventures, The Oaks at Lebanon, and The Aspects of Aging with Christine Smith. For more information on Farmers Insurance and Michelle Martin, call 541-981-2616. And for more information on Liz Lawless and Author Adventures, go to lizlawless.com. And for more information on the Oaks at Lebanon and their amazing retirement and assisted living, go to lebanonretirement.com. And finally, for the Aging Better Network and Christine Smith, go to agingbetternetwork.com. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, and ready for another amazing morning, another amazing show. Hey, I don't know what time it is where you are. It's morning where I am, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time when we're live. But whatever time it is or whatever day it is where you are, I'm so thankful you're here. You know, this community is amazing. I am blessed and so thankful every day for you. Couldn't do this without you. Without you, we have no show. So thank you for coming. Whether you're watching live or on replay, I am so thankful. You know, this goes live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every Monday and Thursday, Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. But after it's done, it sits on the network we broadcast on, LinkedIn and YouTube forever, and Facebook for 30 days. So you go back forever and watch it. Another reason why you should really be part of our YouTube community. We would love it if you would subscribe on YouTube. Simple. If you know the name of this show, go to marketingwithruss.live. Marketingwithruss.live will get you there. So right now, if you have not subscribed, open another tab up above. Go to marketingwithruss.live while you have a moment before Doreen comes and subscribe today, because you will be blessed with thousands of people that have been on Marketing with Russ, that have been on Russ Reels Live, the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, the Experience Local Live with Russ and Scott. There's so many options. I actually do 6 live streams a week. And so thankful for those opportunities and so blessed that you're here today and with us. What is Marketing with Russ all about? Well, we're all about how amazing people connect. You know, it doesn't matter what business you're in, what stage of life you're in. We all need connection. We were created by God for connection. And so today, I want to encourage you, connect firm believer that at the foundation of every good marketing plan, every good business, really every good life is connection and community building. Because when we come together, amazing things are possible. We are better together because I have my own talents. You have your own talents. When we combine those, we are that much better. We are twice as good and we continue to grow. So thank you so much. And today I encourage you, please engage in the comments. Say hi. Say hi to me and say hi to my guest, Doreen. Talk to each other in the comments. You can connect with other amazing people that are in the comments. Appreciate that. Remember just to please tag your friends. Share this out right now. Tag them because you know what? We're all busy. It doesn't matter how much you want to watch something or how much you want to be involved. It's hard to remember when things are on. So if you tag people, remind them, hey, guess what? You don't want to miss this today. It is going to be amazing. So please, please connect and tag your friends. I'd really, really appreciate that. Also, I want to remind you all that my new book, Life Happens and Then You Choose. That's right. Life, that's the hand motions. Life Happens and Then You Choose is available and is on Amazon. All my books are on Amazon, but you know what? The easiest place to go, russhedge.com, because it'll bounce you right to where the books are, whether Amazon or my publisher. You can get that. All the books that I've written. So first we had Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. I did 4 anthologies during my cancer journey. In between those, all international bestsellers, #1 on Amazon. New book, Life Happens and Then You Choose, #1 on Amazon. Would love for you to get a copy of that today. It's so simple. It's available in ebook, so Kindle, or you can get paperback or hardcover. And the hardcovers are really super nice. So I hope that you get a copy today because every day of your life, life is happening and then you choose. So anyway, thank you for that. So the last thing we do every week before our guest comes in is our marketing tip of the day. And today it's going to be a good one. It's something that I really live by. And I hope this helps you because the marketing tips are really to invigorate you, give you a little push in a positive direction, help you less than a minute. And guess what? After we're done today, this gets cut out, put out on social media separately as a marketing tip of the day and on YouTube Shorts. So you can go and just watch this and share this all by itself. So anyway, okay, here we go. Are you ready? All right. This is your marketing tip of the day. Live life with a good perspective. That's right. It's what I'm all about. If you've heard me before, I always say live life with a good perspective. You know, life happens and then you choose. I heard somebody that wrote a book called that. That's very interesting. You might want to get a copy of that because every day life is happening and we get to choose what perspective we have around the life activities and our circumstances. Life is a roller coaster. No matter how good your life is, you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. You're going to have peaks. You're going to have valleys. That's just the way life goes. So what kind of perspective do you have when things are really good? And what kind of perspective do you have when things are really not so good? And you know what? You can choose a good perspective. When I've been down and I've been in horrible condition, I have kept a good perspective, knowing that tomorrow is a new day, knowing that God has great things for me on the other side of what is happening. And when you keep that good perspective, life is so much better. So live life with a good perspective. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there we go. I'm telling you, whether it's your business or your family or what your organization, that is going to help you every day of your life. All right, let's get Doreen in here and get things started. Morning, Doreen.
Hello. Hey, how are you?
I am doing so good. I am so thankful you're here this morning, and I just appreciate you. I think we're just going to start off with the basics. Who in the world is Doreen? What do you?
Oh boy, that's a loaded question. So I I'm an executive coach, a leadership coach, and a registered nurse. And I am passionate about helping people to recharge on the job, to reset their nervous system, to live a grounded and purposeful life. And we can't do that when we're running on empty. And so yeah, that is kind of who I am, what I do, and Yeah, I'm just so thankful to be here.
Well, and I'm so thankful to have you here for sure. I love what your website says. Rewire stress in real time so you can lead and live with full presence. Don't let exhaustion steal your joy. You know what?
Yeah.
I think that's so important. People get burned out and they let exhaustion steal their joy. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like in this world, we're going at such a fast pace. We need to be intentional about listening, being present, and really connecting to our inner wisdom, right? Which we know we get that from God, right?
Amen. That's
And
right.
yeah, most people think that if they get a new job, they change something in their life, maybe they go on vacation, they change a person, place, or thing, I like to call it. They change the noun, that things are going to get better in their life. And that's a lie. That's a lie that we've believed, right? Life happens, like you said, right? In this moment. And we get to choose how we're going to interact with it. And we can choose to be fearful, or we could choose to be loving and live with joy. And we don't have to run the rat race that the world is pitching to us. Wow.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
it's interesting what you said there. Two things that I'm getting out of that at the moment. And first is you're right. Just by escaping, you're not going to run from your problems or what's going on. But on the flip side of that, what you just said, get out of the rat race and give yourself some rest. Give
Yeah.
yourself some time. It's not going to change everything, but guess what? It'll slow things down and give you time to think and process and know where you can go and pray about things. Man, I tell you, I give it to God and pray right off the bat and figure out where I'm going. Number two, you don't have to do everything and live that rat race. And people have bought into that lie and
Mhm.
they're afraid, the FMOA, afraid of missing out, right? They
Yeah.
have fear of missing out on things. Like if they don't do everything, it's just not going to happen. And that's not true, right? They can slow down and actually pick what works for them.
Yes. I think that a lot of us were raised with the idea that saying no to things is not kind, right? And what I've been learning over my lifetime is that what's happening inside of me is an indicator light of my internal world, right? So when I feel stress, when I feel duty to say yes to something, and I don't have this full body, yes, this is for me. You have given me this opportunity and I'm jumping into this. If I don't have um that perspective, right? I'm just doing things out of duty. And with duty comes exhaustion. And God is designed for us to live from a place of rest. That is what he wants for us, right? He doesn't want us to live and burn out. We've never heard of burnout before, and now we can't escape it because we are constantly bombarded by all of these external factors that are clouding our judgment, clouding our mind, clouding our discernment. And so we get to choose whether we will live from a pace of grace or uh, just hurrying and rushing our way through life. And I have made a decision. I am not living like that any longer.
Oh my percent.
Yeah.
My first book was Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. And that all came about because really of exactly what you're talking about. I'm really the live the life you choose kind of guy. You know what? I believe that keeping a good mindset and perspective is going to drive you through. But I got caught up sometimes in the rat race of life. One day I'm racing out the door. I'm dropping things. I'm tripping. Things aren't going right. I'm all out of sorts. And my beautiful wife looks at me. She goes, honey, are you okay? And I said, oh, I'm good. I'm all good because that's my go-to, right? I'm all good. I got it
Yeah.
covered. I'm all good. And she's like, no. She goes, you look kind of befuddled, she said.
Mhm.
And I said, oh, I'm fine. I gave her a kiss. I got in the car. 1 mile down the road, I thought, yep, I hate that. She's right as always. I'm befuddled. I'm totally out of sorts. I'm totally messed up. So I called her. I said, "You're right. I'm befuddled. I'm slowing down. I'm taking a moment. I'm breathing. I'm okay." And that just really made me stop and think. We get ourselves we are sometimes our worst enemy, what
Yes.
we choose to do. And one other thing with that, and then I want you to comment on this. One time I was telling my beautiful wife, she's got so much wisdom, that she said, "Can we do something?" And I said, I got all this going on. I have to do this and this and this. And she looked at me and she goes, "No, no." She goes, "You don't have to." She said, "You're choosing to."
Yes.
And boy, I tell you, that stung. She was exactly right. I was choosing. Was I choosing good? Or maybe I was choosing too much, right?
Yes. Oh, so good. I think that, one of the things that we get to consider is creating that space for ourselves between the circumstance and the response, as Viktor Frankl says, right? And within that space lies our power and freedom. And that's what God wants for us, right? He wants us to live with his power and his freedom. And we can't find that in the middle of hurry and rush. We walk by all of the things that are beautiful that come along our path when we're living a hurried life. But when we get to slow down a little bit, and when we create that space, and one way of doing that is pausing and breathing. That's just one way, but I've created a toolbox of dozens of ways that you can shift in the moment to create that space between the circumstance and the response, so that you don't react, you intentionally respond from a place of groundedness.
Well, and that is so good. I am completely with you.
Yeah.
Intentionality
Yeah.
is vital to life. Being intentional, making intentional choices, because when we're reacting constantly, we are getting ourselves in trouble. And I've used the phrase, be an actor, not a reactor. And what I mean by that is not acting things that are not authentic and really you, but
Mhm.
actively taking intentional action instead of constantly being on the back end and reacting to everything. Because when we're doing that, we're always a step behind.
Yes. Oh, wow. When we're just putting out fires, right? We're not our best self. And we could run around all day long just putting out a fire here, putting out a fire there. And we're not really bringing the best of ourselves. We're not bringing our best work. We are not bringing we're not leaving the legacy that we want to leave, right? And I'm a firm believer that we cannot affect people unless we connect with them. You
Oh, yeah.
cannot affect someone unless you connect with them. And you cannot connect with them when you're running around like a chicken with their head cut off.
That's right. Well, and that is so true. And, of course, we're here all about connection and community building here on
Yeah.
Marketing with Russ. And, true connection is really coming together with somebody. You and I had an amazing conversation a while back, and then had a great conversation before we went on air here,
Yes.
with really connecting about what was going on in our lives, what we have in
Mhm.
common with cancer journeys and with
Yeah.
faith and all those things. And that is really connecting. And when you do that, it makes you slow down a little bit. It makes you take a look at the other person you're with, and then you can truly move forward and do some intentional things. But you got to connect. We talk about the know, like, and trust factor, which is an
Yeah.
overused yet really true
Mhm.
principle. When you know and like and trust somebody, life happens. And knowing somebody takes time, right, Doreen?
Absolutely. And here's the thing, we can run around, and when someone comes in contact with us and say, "Hey, how you doing?" We say, "Fine," because we think that we need to move on, or we say, "Oh, busy. I'm so busy," right? How many times do you hear that in the world, right? And really, that's not authentic connection. That's just a way of answering a question and moving on. Authentic connection takes us deeper into the reality of what's happening on the inside of us.
Right. Right.
right? And we can do that in a safe way without like handing out all of our dirty laundry to everybody, but really have intentional connection with other people that will make a difference in their lives. It's, you know, as you go through life, sometimes people will say, when you said this 10 years ago, that was a pivotal moment in my life. And so I'll ask you, are you having those kinds of conversations with people? Because transformation happens in community. It happens when we connect with others intentionally and on purpose, right? With purposeful, authentic conversation. So if you're not having those conversations, you're missing out on what God has for you. You're missing out on the best that He has for you.
Well, I totally agree. And being completely honest and upfront,
Yeah.
I have beeps going off with my diabetic alarms as we are doing this show.
Oh
So
boy.
I'm eating a
Okay.
banana as we're talking. But you know what I have found
Mhm.
through my journey? You talked about airing your dirty laundry, and I actually had the perspective that I should never talk about anything negative. I'm the happy, upbeat
Mhm.
guy that everybody expects always to be happy and upbeat. And I have learned that sometimes it's okay. In fact, God actually moved me the direction of sharing my cancer story
Yeah.
so that I could uplift and positively affect others going through tough situations in life. And so I used it for that. What I would do is I would say, hey, this is what I'm going through. But you know what? I'm keeping a good perspective, trusting God and believing for good things, keeping a good mindset through it all, even though it's tough sometimes. Sometimes it's really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
And guess what I found? I found that people connected on a much deeper level with me by me actually sharing and keeping a positive, perspective on it like I do, but they connected on a deeper level by me actually sharing something that was tough in my life, right? And
Yes.
so I think sometimes that really being a little bit more real, a little bit more
Mhm.
authentic. And again, we can't keep dumping stuff on everybody for sure.
Right.
And so that's why I always am very intentional about
Yes.
what I say and then how I end it. Hey, whatever you're going through, I know everybody has stuff and life is happening. You
Mhm.
can choose that good perspective. I'm letting people know that. And I have found that that makes a big difference and people really connect to that more.
Absolutely. It's so interesting. I think that we we've been sold a bill of goods that we have to put our best self out there.
Right.
And we think if we put our highlight reels of our life out there, that that's going to attract people to be connected to us. And that's a lie because people then, it makes you unapproachable. People think, oh, well, they have it together and
Right.
I'm not there. So I don't think that I could actually connect with that person. And
Right.
I lived that life for a long, long time, sadly. Right. And what it was just all superficial connections. And
Right.
you've got to go deeper with people and be real. And I love how you said, Russ, that you then take um, whatever the potentially negative thing that you're going through, and you point to the lessons that you've learned in the journey. You point to how God is working in your life right now through that, right? You point to agency where you're giving people the choice to visions for themselves and how they're going to interact with the circumstance, and that's just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I think I give all the credit to God for that because
Sure.
I didn't want to do it.
Right.
In fact,
Right.
it's one of those things that I said, no, I'm not, I
Mhm.
don't want to do that. I don't think that. And it's like, no, you're going to do this. Right. And
Yeah.
so I, again, I think that you have to be intentional and pick and choose how you do that and when you do that, because you can turn into just constantly dumping on people and
Yes.
all those kind of things. And I would never want to do that. But you're right. It's not authentic to go by people. I'm that way. Like I told you, when my wife told me I was befuddled, I'm like, I'm all good. I'm all good. That's my
Yes.
go-to, right? We all have our go-to. All
Yes.
is good. I'm okay. I've got everything under control. My uh, beautiful daughter, who is 35 years old now, During my cancer journey, I told her, listen, it's okay. I got it covered. I'm okay. And she goes, Dad, you're not okay. You don't have it covered. You need help, and you need to realize you need to accept people's help
Yeah.
because you've always been the one giving and helping. And now it's time for you to help.
Yeah.
And, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to learn. I mean, I'm still learning it every
Yeah.
day because even though those that know, praise God, they've declared me no sign of disease, the cancer is gone, there is still all those things weighing on me physically that I still have to deal with, like my diabetic alarms going off and all those things. There's so many things that are still a challenge, but I want people to know I understand, Doreen. You, everybody watching today, have their issues in life. They have their own issues. And so I want people to know that you can still move forward and keep a good perspective in spite of that. Your circumstances don't define you. There are things you can do intentionally to make life better, right, Doreen?
Absolutely. And this is not spiritual bypassing. Okay.
Right.
We hear that a lot, right? When people say that they're trusting in God, we hear, oh, that's just spiritual bypassing. But no. This is pausing, right? Long enough to notice what's happening on the inside of you and seeing those sensations as an indicator light on your car almost. That indicator light is giving you information. And so then we get to evaluate that information and say, hey, what is it that you're trying to tell me? What is going on for me? And as we take that short moment of pause, we get to notice what's happening inside. And then that sends us to this place of action from intention. Right. But if we stuff down whatever we're feeling on the inside, just move along and pluck through, we are not acting intentionally. We're not behaving intentionally. We are behaving like robots because we've got an autopilot built into our brain. Our operating system was created to go on autopilot to conserve energy. Right? Which is a good thing many times. But when those old patterns and habits of behaving and acting out are no longer serving you, it's time to upgrade that operating system. It's time to take that intentional pause and shift to a better, more accurate view of life from a specific place in your brain. And you get to do that. That is a privilege.
Oh, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
what an honor to be able to have the choices to do what we can do. I mean, we have way more control over our life than people realize. It is like, so I'm a firm believer that God has wonderfully and marvelously created us, right?
Yes.
People don't realize, for an example, through my cancer journey, and I think you probably know this too, the attitude you keep and the perspective you have affects you physically.
Yes.
It physically changes your body. And people are like, yeah, I don't believe all this self-healing stuff. Well, when it's God's creation and you using that to help heal your body, you can bring a lot of healing through the way you think and the perspective you keep. Sure, you don't snap a finger and everything goes away. I understand that. But my doctors told me, my doctors who had nothing to do with what God had done, that because they were just telling me this from a medical perspective, told me the number one thing that would do the most good for me was my mindset and perspective, way more than any treatment they could ever do. And so I'm telling people, your choices and your intentionality in your life, all that you're doing in your business and your life, just like Doreen is talking about, is going to make all the world of difference. So, Doreen, this is just getting away from me because we're having such a good conversation.
I know.
The show's already
I have so
winding
much more
up.
I could say.
I know we're gonna have you back on because we're gonna have to
Yeah.
have another conversation. But for today, give
Yeah.
me your gold nugget. Let everybody know your gold nugget of today. What you want people to remember. The number one thing from our discussion today, and then number two, tell them how to get in contact with you.
Oh, wow. So you have a choice. That's what I want you to remember, that you are not a victim of your circumstances, that you don't have to go on vacation or run to ground yourself. You can recharge on the job in the middle of your workflow without leaving for a vacation by pausing, noticing, and choosing an action that represents your best self. And yeah, that is the work that I do with people. That is what I'm passionate about, making it really simple, making neuroscience simple. As a registered nurse, that's what I love to do. And you can reach me at doreensteenland.com. And on there is my book. You get 2 chapters for free if you sign up. So I'd love to have you.
That I tell everybody, all of her connection information is there, and you can connect with her on LinkedIn as well.
Yes.
Have that information. Going to actually, there you go. Now it's ticking along the bottom as well. I highly, highly recommend you get in touch with Doreen. And Doreen, we're going to, right when we get off, we're going to schedule another so we can follow up because we have so much more to talk about.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you. I'm going to say goodbye on screen, but hang tight in the green room. I'll be right there. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you. Amazing. And there you go. I cut her off while she was saying goodbye, but Doreen, I'm telling you, amazing. Everybody, you need to definitely connect with her, and so much great information. Oh my goodness. Connect with people more deeply, be authentic in your life. And you will find that through intentionally making good choices, life is happening, but you definitely get to choose where you go from there, where you move beyond the circumstances of today and this moment. So I really encourage you to do that. And you get a copy of my book if you want to be encouraged. I'm telling you, it will really encourage you. I would appreciate you. I was so blessed to have Bob Goff, my friend, who's a New York Times bestseller, do a endorsement. It's on the back of my book. So thankful for that. Wanted to let people know that are local that I have another book signing coming up on December 13th at Willamette Valley Christian Supply. That's this Saturday. Super excited about that. So that's only the day after tomorrow. So there you go. And if you know somebody in the local area, tell them it's happening. It's at the Heritage Mall in Willamette Valley Christian Supply. They have great Christmas stuff. There's going to be a whole bunch of authors this time. Last book signing was just me. This one, there's other authors as well. It's kind of a celebration, and they're having a Hallmark celebration. So you can actually get ornaments and their new things for Christmas and all that great Christmas shopping ideas. So please check that out. Want to do a big thank you to our sponsors again: Michelle Martin and Farmers, Liz Lawless, Author Adventures, The Oaks of Lebanon, and Christine Smith and Aspects of Aging. So amazing. And also, we are listener supported. Only way we can do this is with your help. Thank you. That is why we're still here. So you can scan that QR code or go to the link in the comments. We would love it. Any amount helps with the production costs of the shows. Life costs something, right? That's just a reality of things. And so thank you for your help with that. And we're so grateful you're here. Don't forget, we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure, because this sits on LinkedIn and YouTube forever afterwards, and Facebook for 30 days, and it converts to audio podcast on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. So you can go listen if you don't have time to watch. With that, appreciate everybody being here today. Until we see you next time, have a blessed and amazing life. All right, bye everybody. See ya.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.